Michael Todd versus Ermes Gasparini.
I see Ermes getting some control early on, but after a few false starts and a long battle, Michael Todd will take control and finish with his press. There will be a lot of back and forth, but eventually, Ermes will run out of gas and Michael will close it out. I think Ermes will protect his elbow, but he won't have enough side pressure to pin Michael. Ermes will get sloppy because he can't pin him, and he'll become a little less protective of his elbow. This will put him in a position where he can pin Michael, but he won't be able to keep his elbow on the back of the pad. This match will be intense, but I believe Michael Todd will win 3-1 after a tough fight.
Devin Larrett versus Gennady Vicini.
From my perspective, I think Devin's definitely better than he was the last time he faced Gennady. Coming off an injury, Gennady might have the strength, but he doesn't have the warrior spirit or the endurance he once had. The injury setback really takes its toll. I just don't think it's close between them right now, but I do hope the match will at least be entertaining. It could come down to Gennady's showmanship and how much heart he can put on the line, especially with the crowd behind him in his home country. If Gennady wins, it's a huge moment for him and arm wrestling in general. I can imagine the atmosphere in Georgia would be electric with the whole country cheering for him. It could be amazing for the sport, but from my logical thinking, Devin is going to win pretty awesomely.
Cesha versus David Dodikian.
I think Alex just has to be really careful about Dodikian's lane because if he sucks him in there, he's going to be extended a lot further than normal. Alex has a lot of heart too. I've seen situations like this before with Morozov. When you've got a lot of heart and you're the bigger guy, sometimes you can hold on even in a bad position. Even though the other guy's in a good spot, his gas tank gets drained by the bigger guy. I fully expect Dodikian to look really good early on, probably taking the lead, maybe 1-0 or 2-0. But I imagine Alex still has his sights set on being the left-handed world champion, so if that's the case, he's just going to have to get it done. He'll probably have to pull into a hook and lean forward, because if he tries to get away and Dodikian sinks it in, it's dangerous. Dodikian is mean, so aggressive, and such a warrior. It seems like he doesn't care how big Alex is. He's got nothing to lose, and will come in full and super aggressive. I think early on, Dodikian could take the lead, but I imagine Alex will hang in there and win. Since there's no title on the line, I'll say Alex wins 3-2 with an epic comeback.
Frank Lamparelli versus Serhiy Kalinenko.
It's going to be a good match. I'm hoping that I'm not as bad as I thought I was, and that Kalinenko keeps performing, because, to me, he looked very impressive against Georgi, even though he came up short. I think he still dreams of becoming the 253-pound champ, and I hope he handles Frank. That would make me feel a bit better about where I stand. Frank, though, looks very comfortable. I was impressed with Kalinenko's hand as well. It's solid.
Brad Grundy versus Bacho Seganeshvili.
For me, this is a mismatch. Bacho is going to crush him. I think Brad won't be able to stop him. I hope that I'm wrong. What I want to know is if Brad Grundy is special, and he might be because he's coordinated. I mean, he looks very polished. I think Bacho would also beat Matt Mask and Pavlo like Brad did. Brad could be the #1 arm wrestler in the United States. He could be right there under Todd Hutchings. All Brad Grundy has to do is beat Bacho, and that will trigger another match and another match. He could be the guy.
Vasily Dautashvili versus Styan Golanov.
We don't really know how good Styan is right now. I mean, this guy was good, but now he looks like an improved version of himself. He's filled out more. He reminds me of Vitaly Lalatin from the shoulders down to the waist. He doesn't look narrow or light anymore, and that's impressive. Both of these guys are big and strong for their weight class, and they're excellent top rollers. I'm rooting for Styan because I have some history with him. It's great to see guys like him and Babayev, guys like me, still out there, seeing if they can compete with the younger crowd.
Irakli Zirakashvili versus Todd Hutchings.
Todd's got to be careful, because I don't think Todd has worked on much except getting stronger at what he does. You see Irakli on his winning streak, and he is going to be a problem. No one's a bigger Todd Hutchings fan than me, but Irakli is going to be a real issue for Todd. Irakli is going to be awesome. He's 100% going to be one of the very best. I'm a huge Todd fan, but I'm telling you, this is a real upset alert. This match is happening in Irakli's home country, where he's going to have the full support. And don't get me wrong, Todd is a very good arm wrestler, but I think this could be the upset of the year. People are underestimating Irakli's skills and what this match means for him.
Oleg Petrenko versus Betkili.
I have maybe an unrealistic opinion about Betkili, but I think the guy has a lot of ways to win. He's aggressive and mean at the table, which I think is a huge plus. We also have to consider that Petrenko probably isn't as strong as he was before, especially after what happened with him and Devin. If he's as strong as he was against Alijan, and Alijan is the same guy, then Petrenko could actually be the favorite here. Betkili looked bigger than Oleg, but Petrenko and Betkili will probably be close in terms of strength. Anyone facing a Georgian in his homeland should be careful, though.
Daniel Prokopchuk versus Oleg Zhok.
I think Daniel is absolutely phenomenal, but honestly, I don't see him having any chance of winning this match. No way. Oleg is just on another level. Betkili, who's maybe the best left-handed guy on earth pound for pound, even struggled in some positions against Oleg, and Betkili has that insane joint power and commitment. Oleg's connection and wrist positioning are a real problem, and I don't think Daniel has the frame to deal with that. If Daniel does manage to get through Oleg's arm somehow, it's going to be crazy and probably dangerous for him. He might need a long break after that. Oleg is definitely the favorite here. He's very, very strong.
Fia Rysek versus Malen Bergström.
When Malen is bigger than this version of her, I believe Malen takes care of Fia, no problem. Now, when Malen has to be down there at the exact same weight as Fia, it's got to be close. I don't know who's going to win this one. I'm rooting for Malen, just because once again I've got some history there, you know? She's been around for a long time, 22 years in the sport, and I've only known Fia since 2016. I think our whole community loves them both, and they both have a lot of respect. They both have a lot of skill in arm wrestling. But I'm going with Malen on this one.